Respected dignitaries on the dais, dignitaries of the dais, my fellow CMA members, and representatives from the various organizations, media friends, and others. During last 2 days, I came across all this summary. So we have discussed a lot about artificial intelligence, machine learning, and a lot of technical aspects. So I thought that let me take away or change the track and discuss some other aspects. I just want to put a small question before all of you. When I was a child, maybe 4 years, 5 years, we used to do the calculation, multiplication tables. I still remember that in the evening, we brothers and sisters sit in front of our grandparents and chant this entire table of from 2 to 25, 30 like that. And the same was slowly replaced by calculator. Somebody was telling in the before the session that calculator has replaced that. And nowadays, if we are asking to our children to learn that table, so they are either searching that mobile phone and finding the calculator to see that what is the multiplication of all these things. So in this process, although technology is evolving, but our learning process or our intellectual things, slowly it is coming down to that angle. Although we have, this technology is being created by us only, but at the same time, we are slowly forgetting those kind of things which we need to memorize. Because if somebody is asking this type of question, what is 9/8? So we cannot go and search our mobile phone or calculator to find out this thing. The second thing is I want to take back to the old ages. During Mahabharata or Ramayana, that age, this artificial intelligence, what we are presently discussing and finding out its improvement, its utilization, its drawback, challenges, benefits, all these things. It was there in those days in some form or the other. I will give a small example, two small examples rather in that respect. We know King Dasharatha once went to harness or in the jungle to, that time they used to kill animals like deers, tigers like that. And he fired a weapon from his weapon, and that weapon hit a man, that's Prasanna Kumar. Any of us may be knowing, that old people might be knowing, and the current generation, they might not be aware of Prasanna Kumar or Dasharatha. I just want to link those things. So what happened? So that weapon is nothing but it is inbuilt with AI. So that could recognize this sound. And wherever sound is there, that weapon is going to hit there. So that was there. In some form or the other, the technology was there in the ages together. Now it has replaced the name of artificial intelligence or something or the other. But the drawback was that weapon could not recognize whether that is a human sound or an animal sound. And that was the mistake. That was the drawback of that weapon. And similar drawbacks are there in the artificial intelligence. There are many things which is going to harm us if we will not take proper care in that weapon. Like artificial intelligence, here the weapon is AI. So AI, sometimes we found that from our bank account, some money has been taken out by somebody else using that technology or something other. So we should take care of that. So in the ages together, those kind of things were there. I will give another example from the Mahabharata. In 1020 AD, exact date is there, 1020 AD, in Rajasthan, one village was Muta. That village, well, some group of farmers were cultivating. They found one box in that village. And in that box, it was mentioned barbaric. You know, in the Mahabharata, one person name was barbaric. and he was named as the grandson of Bhim. Bhimsen's grandson was barbaric. I was just trying to link that story with that Mahabharata age. And when they found that box, in that box, one skull was there, but that skull was metal skull. Human kind of skull was there, but it is in the form of metal. And two eyes were there like a robot. And that was mentioned as barbaric. And they have given that to the then king of Rajasthan, one that area, one king was there. They have handed over to that skull. And when knowing this artificial intelligence kind of thing and robotic, all these things, we can link to that person that barbaric was not an ordinary man. He was an exceptional character in that Mahabharata. And when Lord Krishna want that to test his knowledge or strength, his power, so Krishna told to that person, barbaric, maybe human or maybe a robot, that if you can find where I am, then I will know that your strength is there and your knowledge is there, all these things. And he hid himself in the fingers and he could able to locate through his weapon. And then he asked to that barbaric, so from which side you want to fight the war? He replied that which side is weaker, I will fight for that side. So that will happen if he will fight with a weaker side, then other become weaker, and again he will move to that side, and this will become weaker, and ultimately everybody will be destroyed. So knowing all these things, then Lord Krishna told that you separate your head and body, and head was still working, and they have established that head in a place where he could see all this Mahabharata, everything, and at the end of the Mahabharata also he told that what has happened during the war, all these things. Why I am trying to link all these things? Because AI is not a new thing. It was there in our ancient things. Of course, during few years of invasions, all these things, British rules, Mughals, all these things, we have not connected with our values, knowledge base. Our Rishi Muni, if you see those days, they could able to collect the historical data and predict the future. If you see the Panjikas nowadays, so in the Panjikas also, using that knowledge, we could able to see when there will be a storm, when there will be a flood kind of situation, when there will be a cyclone kind of situation. Using those calculations, arithmetical calculation or Jyotish, whatever you say, so we used to do those kind of things. So artificial intelligence is not a very new thing or something which is mind-bogging. It was there in one form or the other, and now it has reached a level where we are leveraging more out of it by doing many things. In the recent past, if you see that, there are a lot of startup companies has taken place in our country, thousands, and out of that, if you see that, almost 20 to 25% are fintech companies. Starting from Ola, Uber, Swiggy, Zomato, all names, it's our fintech company where role of finance professional is there. Collaborating with the technology, these finance professionals are leveraging those kind of things, and that is giving a new dimension to the role of finance professionals. So in the morning we are discussing whether this AI will take away the job of finance, the role of finance. So it may take away the present role of finance, but we have to upskill, and what we are discussing the same thing. So we have to upskill, rescale ourselves, and collaborate with the new requirement, new technology, so that we will also be useful along with this technology. And this fintech are the clear-cut examples of all those things. We are not far off. You can see that if you go to the 30, 40 years down the line, there were a role called accountants who used to do the debit credit. When we joined the professions before qualifying, so we also doing the debit and credit in the manual entry, and finally when our balance sheet or trial balance tallied, we used to give a party that balance sheet tallied. And there is a big party that a balance sheet matched or trial balance matched. Those kind of days, because manually we used to calculate, putting a calculator and doing all these things manually, and finally everything if it is matched, otherwise days together we used to say that balance sheet is not matching. So those kind of things has taken by machine itself. So machine is taking care of those things, but machine cannot replace human touch, human feeling, human innovations, human motivations. Machine cannot do all those things. Machine can replace the repetitive kind of things. Machine can analyze this old data and give some predictions or give some assumptions for the future. Those kind of things we can take a reference for us to take other decisions. So with this last 2 days, I came to know that so a lot of technological kind of discussions has happened, and definitely it will give a room to our finance professionals, particularly CMA professionals, to take away all these things and use in their day-to-day activities. I will give one more example. Last week I was in Delhi where we were all these CFOs of the energy companies we were discussing, where NTPC, Power Grid, all these CFOs were there. So how to leverage this AI kind of things in the finance domain. So one example I'm just bringing here. So basically we the companies have tie-up with various hospitals. So our employees are, whenever they are not well, we are recommending, we are sending to the employee for treatment in different hospitals, wherever they are preferring or wherever they are located. So whenever the bills are coming from the hospitals, so our finance person has to go and see line by line whether that line is matching with here or this is not matching, that is not matching, whether that is permitted, not permitted. So how this AI technology can replace that kind of things. And we have developed, or something has been developed, and it is in trial also. So AI can be inbuilt in the systems, and AI can see that whether for this treatment, this medicine is required or not. Okay, and similarly, whenever some hospital is giving, suppose this treatment, for this treatment, this medicine is not required, or this type of things is not required, this test is not required. Sometimes hospital, they are commercial organizations and they used to exploit these companies like this. So to avoid all these things, how technology can be brought in between, it can be integrated with our ERP systems, and the AI, based on the AI tools, how we can analyze those kind of things, whether any mistakes or any kind of activities which is not in line with the agreement with the hospital is going on in this process. Similarly, if some employees is doing any fraudulent activities, some repetitive kind of things, they are producing bills. So there also AI can analyze and see that whether a particular group of employees or a particular employee is doing this type of activity on a regular basis, which can be keep in watch. So they can be give an alert to keep a watch on this kind of employees. So that is one way of how the AI things can be inbuilt with our system, so that the job, our job, finance job, routine kind of jobs can be eliminated. At the same time, errors and other things can be found out in the process. So with this, I thank you all for inviting me on this August gathering. Before all of you, lot of knowledge base is available here. So I could not able to attend this last few technical sessions, but finally one session I was going through, Mr. Gopal was there and other colleagues were there. So it was a very interesting and giving a lot of room for the development of our profession, particularly CMA professions. And definitely, NLC being a company, every year we are hiring at least 20 to 25 CMA professions. And presently we have more than 100 CMA profession in our company. So we are collaborating with the institute for various activities, and we will continue our journey in this regard. So thank you again for inviting me. Thank you.